This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you and welcome to WKYT This Morning. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. What a big, important day it is, the day after the election.
It is Wednesday, November 4th, and now at 6 a.m., it was a historic election in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. We're live with reaction from the winners and losers this morning.
Police are investigating an overnight stabbing after a man turned up on a Lexington porch.
And police make 2 quick arrests after an overnight robbery in Lexington.
Weather was the real winner yesterday, is going to be another winner for today as we get into the afternoon. Temperatures in the 50s and even some 60s already this morning. Afternoon temperatures, yeah, we're looking at 75 degrees, another awesome day in store. We get into the next couple of days, things will change. I'm talking big time for your weekend. I'll show you all that coming up.
All right, and it is the headlines this morning, certainly the results of last night's election, and for just the second time in 4 decades, Kentucky voters have elected a Republican as governor.
Businessman Matt Bevin defeated Democrat Jack Conway by nearly 9 percentage points. His running mate, Janine Hampton, will be the first African-American to hold a statewide office in Kentucky.
Bevin's win was an upset. He trailed every WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass poll and many others running up to the week's election. Come January, his challenger will be out of a job. WKYT's Mark Barber is live with our campaign 2015 coverage this morning. Good morning.
Bill, Republican Matt Bevin won the governor's race by more than 84,000 votes in what the New York Times is calling a stunning victory this morning. The Tea Party favorite took the lead early yesterday, and he never lost it. When Bevin took the stage in Frankfort after his historic win, he thanked his wife, his children, and his parents. He has made it clear that one of his first orders of business will be to repeal the state's planned expansion of Medicaid. Bevin's win could be considered a surprising upset by all accounts because all the WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass polls showed the Louisville businessman trailing Democrat Jack Conway. In Bevin's victory speech, he called this a fresh start for Kentucky and talked about crossing party lines to unite the state's leaders. He also thanked voters who helped him sweep the election with 52% of the vote.
You all represent those who from east to west, from north to south, are why we indeed will be the next governor and lieutenant governor of this Commonwealth of Kentucky.
I love Kentucky, and I want to thank the people of Kentucky for the tremendous honor of allowing me to serve as the 49th Attorney General in the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Defeated Democrat Jack Conway is not saying what he plans to do next. He is, however, saying that he does plan to see his 2 daughters at home quite a bit. Now, there was a low voter turnout for the governor's election. The Secretary of State says just over 30%, or about 980,000 people, voted in the election. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Republicans also scored victories in 3 other statewide races. Among them, state auditor Republican Mike Harmon, a state lawmaker and an insurance agent from Danville, ousted Democratic incumbent Adam Edlin. In the state treasurer's race, Republican Allison Ball easily defeated Democrat Rick Nelson. And in the race for state agriculture commissioner, Republican Ryan Quarles defeated Democrat Jean Marie Lawson-Spann.
The Democrats did pick up 2 wins last night. Andy Beshear was elected Attorney General, gaining about 2,000 more votes than Republican Whitney Westerfield. Allison Lundergan Grimes held on to her seat as Secretary of State, defeating Steve Nipper. You can find all our election coverage on WKYT.com.
And in other news this morning, police are trying to figure out how a man ended up stabbed and on a Lexington porch this morning. Police say the bleeding man showed up to a house on Ray Street where someone called for help. A window in the man's house was broken out. Police say he had several cuts over his body. And also new this morning, a gas station clerk is shaken up after an overnight crime.
Police say 2 men robbed the Thorntons on Versailles Road, and hours later, police were called back out to that location. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is live to explain what happened.
Yes, 2 men are in custody after robbing this Thorntons on Versailles Road last night. At 12:30 in the morning, police say 2 men entered the store demanding cash and implying that they had a weapon. Now, they got off with money, but police say as they were responding to the call, they found the men just down the street at the Lee's Famous Recipe. Police took the men in for questioning and later arrested and charged Claude Daly and Miles Brizius with robbery. The men are being held in the Fayette County Detention Center. In an unrelated situation, a couple of hours later at the same gas station, police say the clerk at the store pushed the panic button as two people were in the store fighting. One man was arrested for public intoxication and disorderly conduct in this incident. Now, the clerk in the store did not wish to speak about these two incidents, nor did she want to be on camera. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Well, a 17-year-old has died after a forklift accident in Garrett County. It happened at Bluegrass Agricultural Distributors in Lancaster. The Fayette County coroner says Grant Oakley fell off the side of a forklift and was run over by it. He was flown to UK Hospital where he later died.
Investigators think the blinding sunlight may have played a role in a crash that killed an EKU student. Police say 18-year-old Tyler Hughes slammed into the back of a cement truck on the Eastern Bypass in Richmond. Hughes died in the crash, and 3 other EKU students in his car were hurt. Hughes was from Florence and was a freshman business major.
A Central Kentucky historic site has been given thousands of dollars. The National Park Service awarded more than $91,000 to the Perryville Civil War battlefield in Boyle County. 2 other Civil War battlefields in Mississippi and Virginia are also recipients of the money that will be used to protect and preserve the battle sites.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Another good start to the day as we're dealing with absolutely no rain outside, but we do have a few clouds, and I want to show you this down toward the southwest, and I talk about this at times. Go across 27, 127, 68, pretty major highways, 150 rolling through Danville and Boyle County, and also making your way through Washington County. This area, I'm showing you this because, watch this, look at your temperatures down toward the southwest. 64 degrees in Monticello, mid-60s, Columbia, Russell Springs, Jamestown. Go off into Taylor County, Campbellsville, Dunnville, Liberty, there working your way into Casey County. These are areas that are in the mid-60s, low to mid-60s, and kind of put that in perspective why that's just kind of amazing to me is typically for our afternoon high at this time of year, we're usually at those temperatures, and we're already surpassing those. It's pretty phenomenal, and actually it's a really good feel, but that's what those clouds do. They're a blanket over us overnight, keep us a little bit warmer. Once we jump off into the afternoon, we'll be anywhere from 70 degrees to about 75 degrees for most. Now, some of us, just like yesterday, could be 77, 78. It was an amazing feel yesterday, just staying outside as much as possible. Because remember, sun sets at 5:30. That was the only bad part about yesterday. Yeah, that's it. All right, so here's the deal. We get in toward Friday. Here comes some showers, even some thunderstorms. And that will be, when I say widespread, I'm not meaning that you're going to get a lot of rain out of this. I just mean it's going to cover a large real estate of our viewing area. I don't expect a whole heck of a lot of rain in your rainfall gauge when it's all said and done. Now, you could get some storms, don't get me wrong, but don't expect this to be a drought killer. It's nothing like that. Once it passes through, looks like Friday evening, we could work some things out there for high school football, hopefully pushing that front on through before those games even start. But once we hit the weekend, yeah, it gets a little bit chilly. Here is your 7-day forecast. The next couple of days look great, feel great. Off towards your Friday into your weekend, that's a different story. That's where you get those showers and storms, and then knocks down those temperatures, Rebecca, into the 50s. But it's not a humongous hit in terms of where we typically are. Yeah. Typically we're in the low to mid 60s, but coming from the 70s to the 50s, it's going to be a big change in those temperatures, that's for sure. It's
going to be noticeable. All right. Each morning we bring you weather and traffic. Here's Officer Don with a look at what's happening.
Hey, getting a live look at drive flow this morning. No major issues to deal with on the interstate itself or the circle. We're good to go coming in from Madison County, from Richmond, also coming in from Scott County on 75. Now, they're doing some construction today on campus, Mount Mullen and Prawl Street. Expect some issues there as we get throughout the morning. They do have a little workaround and a detour in place there on Mount Mullen. Drive times this morning should be normal stuff for us so far. From Nicholasville, from Harrodsburg looking okay. No major delays right now coming in, as we said, from Richmond across that Clays Ferry Bridge. As far as drive times go, we will keep you up to date throughout the morning. Now back to you in the studio.
Okay, we know you will. We thank you very much, Don. 6:09 on WKYT this morning. It is Wednesday, and we're glad you're along with us.
Shocking news out of Illinois this morning about a police officer who was shot to death.
And comedian Jon Stewart making a return to TV, sort of. We'll have that story and more coming up on WKYT this morning.